As always, you do come with a card. The front of the card looks like for Atomic Skull. The back of the card. Front of the card looks like for Superman. The back of the card. And just for comparison's sake, here's going to be the two different cards. So the right one's going to be the old school one, the older one. This is going to be from the Action Comics one back in the day, and it's going to be the new one. As you can tell, the color difference, this is more saturation. And then the older one is more like zoomed out, but also too, it's a lot thicker. So this is the new one right here, and the older one right there. You can see the thickness of it. They both do come with accessories. This is going to be Atomic Skull's right hand. There you go. I like the paint on it, like nice little shiny purple paint. Here is Atomic Skull's left hand. And for Superman, it's going to be very plain. Not much to it. It's just going to be regular open hands for Superman. As you can see, not much to it. Just two open hands, left and right. And they both come with a regular puck stand. And of course, this is a 2-pack. And it does come with this flaming base. Now, if you're wondering why does this look familiar, it's because, well, this is from the 2-pack from the Batman White Knight one. And essentially just a repaint. I have an image somewhere to the right you can see. But it's just a repaint. But it looks cool though. Looks nice. Alright, now let's talk about each figure. We'll start off with the articulation with Atomic Skull. So, left, right, there you go. Come on, camera, pick it up. Left, right, up, down. So left, right, it's good. Up, down is very limited because of the flame is actually hitting back there. You can see that. So not a whole lot in terms of up, down, but it's feasible. Just be wary of this right here. Shoulder articulation. Bicep, if it does articulate, it does, but just, it's a little stiff right now. There you go. There you go. Elbows. Wrist, if I can figure out which, yeah, there you go. Wrist articulation. Torso, which is not bad, and swivel. So the articulation of this figure, as mentioned, the head articulation is going to be a little bit limited, not a whole lot because of the back piece on here, but it's good though overall. Leg articulation, knees, ankles, and of course toes as well. So the leg articulation is good overall. Now let's talk about this figure, because man, this figure, oof, this is a figure that, you know, I'll just say it right now, this is a really good contender for figure of the year, because first of all, look at this head sculpture. Tell me that does not look intimidating, tell me it doesn't look badass. It looks menacing, and it looks creepy. The black paint, what I like about the black paint is actually matte. And I like that because even when you have a light, like I do right now, you can't really see the black indentation, like the inside, even inside his mouth. And I like that because it makes it look very creepy and menacing. Even from a distance, it just looks really, really creepy. And when you look it up close and personal like this, you can see all of that detail. And again, the black just stands out really nicely, especially with this purple paint. And then you got the flames on there. It's coming out of his mouth, which actually I did not notice that. And I like how it's clear, but it has a little bit of like a purple clear paint. And it just looks really, really, really nice. Just look at that flame. The nice clear flame. It looks really, really nice. You got more of the detail on the skull right there. And you can see the teeth on there as well too. Again, this head sculpture just looks fantastic. It looks incredible. And I am really, really loving this figure. Then you got this whole armor piece on there. Very clean, plain looking, which is fine. Some sculpture design here on the sides. Not a whole lot in terms of the shoulder armor, but it looks good though. Then you got more sculpture design here on the actual shoulder. You can see right there. It looks really nice. And I'm telling you, with this nice shiny paint, of purple. Just, oh man, it just grabs your attention. It looks really, really nice. And don't worry, I'll compare it to another figure because this figure has a lot of similarities to another one, which, again, I'll compare it in a bit. But look at all of that detail on here, and look at all the sculpture design. Just look at all that detail. That looks fantastic. And again, McFarlane nailed this figure. Weird looking, yes, but it looks incredible. And I'm telling you, when you see it in person, just look at that detail right there. When you see it in person, I guarantee you all of you are going to be like, okay, this looks way better than pictures. Because the images of this figure, it looks good, looks clean, looks fine. But when you see it in person, it just looks magnificent, man. It grabs your attention. Then you got, I like the sculpture design. They're very, very thick. And just look at the hand sculpture. Has that kind of clear purple, similar to the skull. Has that clear purple on there, but it's actually shooting some kind of blaster on there. It looks really, really cool. And again, this just looks incredible. Little details like this, just all that detail in paint, just looks incredible. And that is just his left hand, right? Now let's take a look at the other hand. In terms of sculpture design here on the arm itself, it's similar to the other arm. Same sculpture design, but of course the hand's going to be different. Then you got like a flaming hand on there. You can see the hand sculpture design there. You can see it perfectly on there. You can see the fingers. Again, very clear purple paint, but just looks really, really good. You can actually have fun with it, almost like he's looking at it, kind of like, what's up type of thing. See that? That looks really, really, really nice. And again, the whole flaming thing on here, the purple, just looks fantastic, man. And again, that's just the arm and the head sculpture shoulders. Then you got this huge centerpiece right there, which it's unfortunate. I wish it was more, something more to it. It's just plain white, and it's just plain matte. And it doesn't blend in very well. I mean, it blends in with the other parts to it, which I'll show in a bit. But just having it all, like, all this nice bright purple, light purple and lighter purple, it really stands up. But when you have white on there, it just kind of looks like it's there. I don't know. That makes sense? Then you got more sculpture design here in the abdomen. Again, just look at all of that detail. All that little detail on there just looks really, really good. And then there's the back of it too. The back just has so much detail. Just look at this. And again, essentially this is for 20 bucks. Because this whole entire 2-pack is $40. But man, for what you're getting for $20 or $40, let's be honest, $20 figure. Definitely an eye catcher, man. Especially with that purple paint. It just grabs your attention. And so overall, the upper body looks fantastic. I am so glad I got one. And of course, you should definitely be getting one. We'll talk about it in a bit if actually worth it or not. But once again, the upper body looks incredible. The paint on this looks really nice. It does have that premium look to it in terms of the paint. That purple, this like purple, light purple, just looks incredible. And when you have a light on it like this, it just grabs your attention even from a distance too. And so far, I'm really loving this whole upper body. Then you got the underwear on there. Sculpture design there. Nice bright silver. Not silver, but that kind of silverish, purplish. You got the glutes on there. Atomic Skull does do hamstring and squats. Then you got more detail on here into the sculpture design there. Similar kind of style that's on the actual shoulder. Also present in the inner thigh. And you got the sculpture design there on the thigh. And just look at this. Just looks incredible. Look at all of that detail. And again, essentially this is for $20. It just looks really, really, really nice. Then you got this whole white piece that's similar to the centerpiece here on the chest. Also present on the leg. More sculpture design there on the leg. And again, just looks incredible. This purple paint, I'm telling you, it just pops. And when you have it on this kind of figure and this paint, oh man, it just looks incredible. Look at that. That looks great, man. And overall, the figure looks fantastic. And to me, this is a great addition to the DC Multiverse. Having one Atomic Skull, but having this well-painted and sculpted design on Atomic Skull, especially the head sculpture design, just looks menacing. This looks incredible. This looks incredible. And great addition to the DC Multiverse. And yes, I definitely like this figure. Now let's take a look at the Superman figure. Head articulation. Left, right, up, down. Shoulder articulation. Ooh, it's a very stiff figure. Shoulder articulation. Bicep. Elbows. Wrist. Right? There's some wrist articulation. If I can do it again, I kind of think I got stuck. There you go. Torso articulation. It's fine for torso articulation. And the wrist swivel as well. So overall, the articulation of this body is fine. The upper body is fine articulation. It's fine. Leg articulation. Knees. Ankles. And of course, toes as well. So overall, the articulation of this figure, it's good overall, which is fine for this particular figure. Now let's talk about this figure. Head sculpture design looks nice. Very simple, clean looking head sculpture design for Superman. Looks really nice. You got the painted lips on there. Nice little bit purple on there. You got the cheeks, the eyes, the eyebrows. I like that the eyebrows are kind of a glossy black. I like this whole hair on there, on this forehead. Very stylized. And then you got the hair sculpture design. Very clean looking. Got some little bit of blues on there. You can see right there. Not a whole lot, but there's some. Also right there on the top. So the head sculpture design, it looks good. It looks very clean looking Superman figure, or head sculpture, as you say. So I'm digging it. In terms of the upper body, it is just your typical spandex Superman. You just got the very huge muscles. I mean, shoulders, biceps, triceps. You got the forearms. Then you got the closed fist on there. Open fist or trigger fist on there. Or hand, I should say. And that's pretty much it. Then you got the Superman logo. And something about this Superman logo and cape, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It just doesn't look right. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like the yellow on here, it has like a mustard look to it on this yellow right here. Maybe it's just me, but I just noticed it looks like a mustard yellow underneath right here, the S. The Superman logo, it has a matte look to it. You can really feel it though. And the cape is very stylized, simple design cape. I wish it had the Superman logo on here, but it's okay though nonetheless. And so overall, the upper body, it's a good looking Superman logo. Of course, it's going to be from the Action Comics 1000 inspiration of this figure, and so it's a very clean looking Superman figure. So in terms of sculpture design, there really isn't that much, but that's how he looks like though overall in the comics. There you got the belt on there and the underwear. Again, very clean, simple sculpture design for Superman. Then you have here the legs, similar to the upper body, just very muscle tone. Not much going on in terms of the sculpture design on the legs. Again, this is Superman. Superman figures usually are very, very simple. Here's a perfect example of one. And yes, if you're wondering exactly what this is, it's just a repaint of the previous one. But it still looks good though. Don't get me wrong, I still like it. It looks good. But it is just a repaint from the previous Superman Action 1000 comics, which I'll show you guys in a bit though. But overall though, I gotta say, the figure looks nice. It looks clean. The only issue I have is just going to be the Superman logo. I wish it was... The logo is fine. Just the paint, the yellow paint underneath, it just kind of looks like mustard, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just my figure that came like this, but to me, it has a mustard look to it. But apart from that, though, it's a good looking Superman logo, and I actually like it. I really like this figure. Very simple, but clean design for Superman figure. But of course, the main question is this worth it? Should you go out and get this 2-pack? Personally, for what you're paying for $40, I think it's a really good deal for these particular 2 figures. First off, we'll start off with Superman. Superman is going to be the repaint from the previous one, as I mentioned in the video. But I will say, though, this is a good alternative than getting the original one, because the original one, the 1000 comics, that one is hard to find. And if you want to get that one, you're going to have to pay almost $60 for it. And if you're going to be paying $60 for that figure, might as well just get this 2-pack that costs $40 and you get Atomic Skull. And so, with that said, I think $40 is a really good deal for it. When you get the Action 1000 Action Comics Superman, but also you do get Atomic Skull. And so Atomic Skull, in it by itself, it is a good looking figure. That paint job on that figure, I think where Superman lagged in terms of sculpture design and paint, Atomic Skull picked it up, because I'm telling you, when you see the Atomic Skull figure in person, especially that paint, you're going to be blown away how it looks. And when you have a light on it like I do, it just looks incredible. And so to me, for the price, $40, heck yeah, I think it's a really good deal for these two figures. Apart from the price, so what do you think about the figures itself, or figures I should say? They both look good, but like I said, my favorite one out of this 2-pack is going to be the Atomic Skull. So overall, what do I give the Atomic Skull and Superman 2-pack, the Gold Label Amazon exclusive? They both get a thumbs up for me. Really good deal for these two figures, and like I said, for the money, this is definitely worth it, just getting the 2-pack for this one. If you don't have the 1000 comics, well, get this 2-pack. It's cheaper than getting the original one, and you save yourself some money. Here we have the Superman figure. It's going to be the Action 1000 Comics one, the original one, and of course the 2-pack one. The paint on this one is more darker in tone, but it does have that glossy Superman logo on there, which looks really, really nice. Everything else, they're pretty much identical. Obviously, the hand's a little different, but you can replace this hand with the other hand that included with it. And again, in terms of sculpture design, its body is the same. The face is a little bit different. I mean, very, very, not a whole lot different. Actually, there is a lot, actually, excuse me. But the body itself, it's identical. Like I mentioned about the yellow on this one, it has this kind of mustard look. This one has a more solid yellow. This one has like a mustard look to it. So maybe just me, I'm getting colorblind, but I don't know. But if you would ask me which one do I prefer, of course I'm going to go for this one. It just looks better, and I do like how this one looks more reddish, more bluish. This had a lighter blue, but that yellow, something about the yellow just throws me off. Here we have Atomic Skull next to Lex Luthor. Now, as I mentioned in the video, this figure has a lot of similarities to the previous figure, which of course is going to be the Lex Luthor one. And you can see on here, the similarities are there. One, look at the arm detail there. They're the same in terms of the arm. There are some differences in terms of the actual forearm sculpture design, obviously the chest. So there, again, there is a lot of similarities, even the leg as well too. Sculpture design is going to be very, very similar. But like I said, there are some differences. So it's not just 100% repaint. There are differences. Look at the boot as well too. This has this whole like white paint on there. This one doesn't. So again, I want to clarify that because I know a lot of people saying, oh, it's just a repaint of this one. It uses similarities in terms of body sculpture, but there are some differences that you can tell. But if you would ask me which out of these two I prefer, I'm going to go for the Atomic Skull. It just looks incredible. Here we have two different versions of Superman. Here we have the Rebirth next to the 1000 comics. And you can really see the Rebirth one. They really made him huge and very muscle. Just look at that chest. That chest is about to pop out with all that muscle. And here we have a 2-pack version of Superman. They both look good, but I honestly prefer the Rebirth one. Because one, I think it looks bigger in terms of like very muscle tone. This is huge. He has like a really huge chest, very buffed out. And also too, I like this one because of the whole sketch. Here we have Ultraman next to Atomic Skull. Ultraman from the Crime Syndicate wave. Good looking figure, very muscle tone. But of course, gonna be that nice creepy red eyes. I like this figure a lot. I like the cape. The cape is huge and big, very stylized. As you can see all the way to the left or to the right, depending on you look in the back. And again, very simple design sculpture, but just very stylized. And it's really big. I think it's probably the biggest cape for Superman figure. And of course, we have here Atomic Skull. Two different enemies for Superman. And of course, two different sculpted figures. One more clean looking, and of course, ridiculously over-the-top sculpture design. Here we have the Doomsday figure. Is going to be Doomsday from the Target exclusive 2-pack. The one that, well, people have been complaining about regarding the loose joints. And I was one of those people that got a loose joint. Well, this is my second one, I should say. Because the first one, I made a video of it. I'll have a link to it. Completely butchered box. And this is my second one. The joints aren't that bad, but they are definitely loose. And of course, the 2-pack Amazon exclusive, 1000 Superman, and of course Atomic Skull. Just showing you two different villains, two different types of sculpture design, very bony-ish per se. rough edge figure next to a more like technologically advanced kind of figure, robotic Atomic Skull, and of course, very plain looking Superman. All three of them look really good. I really like this Doomsday, but the whole joint thing, oof, it gave a sour taste to a lot of people. Here we have Atomic Skull and of course Superman standing next to each other. They both look good. Having them next to each other, they both look good, like I said. But this one just grabs your attention just because of the sculpture design and the paint. I'm telling you, the paint on this one looks fantastic. This one, it's fine. It's always, when it comes to Superman figures, they're usually fine. Very few times it really stands out, but majority of the time Superman is very, well, spandex-like. So not much to it, but these two look incredible next to each other. And of course, Atomic Skull, just easily 10 out of 10 figure, and maybe figure of the year, because again, that's how much I like this figure. And I'm telling you, once you see this figure in person, you're going to be like me. You're going to be like, damn, that is a good looking figure. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with these figures? Do you plan to purchase these figures? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date on watch videos like this. This includes an overview of the Amazon exclusive gold label 2-pack Atomic Skull versus Superman, and on to the next one.